Merrill Stewart, right?
Merrill Stewart.
Donnie O'Quinn. I need to set. Been a while, bud.
Yes, bud. Many beers.
Yes, sir. Jerry, go and say hello to the camera. There we go. Jerry's been shy.
Yeah.
Maureen's not shy.
Maureen's never been shy.
Hi, Polly Bull. It's not my book.
There's Kevin Hart.
Did you learn to write? It's Gander. You learned to write.
He's last, though.
Oh, God, I have a sensitivity spot. No, you should be dead. Maureen, that's a good idea. This was wonderful.
Every time I look at it.
All right, Polly Bull, what? Is that
These Hollywood stars or something shining there.
She's waving. How many people remind me of that? I must have spread that. Oh, you love the Polly Bull. She's waving. Why didn't you tell me that one? She was just my sister.
Signing the Declaration of 75.
I know. It's really his mortgage. I now get his house and 3 kids.
Listen, you just graduated, right?
Yes. Look, see that little green 11? See that? I was 16. That's why. I looked at my yearbook and I'm the only one who signed it.
You're the face.
I was a sad bastard.
It's true.
I got mine home. Now I should get your innocence.
Well, bring it to her. She just said the same thing. She just said the same thing. It was funny. It was funny. Did you sign his like that's
Sometimes they're not busy for certain things. Okay, yeah.
That's right.
They're signing a book.
Oh, she's counting them. Johnny,
It's going.
Okay, hold on. Are you signing Canada Valley or are you really almost?
Okay, here we go.
That's just chill.
Hey, I do. There we go. You got her.
There it is. Michael Thompson.
You're just saying that.
Pretty glad here.
Did you guys gather him? Okay.
All half drunk, all liquored up, all.
Now you better, Mike, you better hurry up.
Thank you very much.
I got you.
What happened to my pen? Steve.
There it is. Considering.
She has it. She has it. She is so.
That's something fucking birthday, buddy. I can guarantee you that. Just say your name and your number. Yeah. What jail?
Kingston Penitentiary. Been around Kingston. What is it?
My name is Glenn Cormier.
Kingston Penn just arrived. Happy to be here. You're not fucking drinking anymore. No, you cut off. Cut off.
Oh, this must be Glenn here.
Get the fucking security to take that out.
This is the next 25 years. Your movie older than.
More mature. You're over for a fucking miracle, are you? Not for you.
Okay, Terry and Lorna, yes. How you doing? We're shy, I can
And I'll do Michael to the.
Speak a little louder into the mic.
Oh,
You heard on the mic here, you never know. I don't need much light.
No,
That's good.
that's in you.
Right on.
Last time you were home, I don't know, hefty
Yeah,
smells.
we had a blast last time.
Oh my God! I was trying to
Yeah.
give it up. You better not have that tape like
Yes, I do. It's me and Tate.
Talk to Ken.
drive down the road for it.
Brian Blurpin.
I'm thinking about that.
wonderful trip over on the boat and that you're, yeah, word around the hospital is you had a big, what's your
3.5 boy now. 3.5 boy.
what?
He's 3.5. Knows every car on the road, even the PT Cruiser, you know.
Oh, of course. Okay, Margaret, who do we look like? He's a famous actor. Were you ever told this before?
Oh, wait. No,
What's his name? No, what's his name? He's very tamed, very dark. What's his name? What does he look like?
George Hamilton.
George Hamilton. George Hamilton. Right on.
Okay.
George Hamilton.
I didn't know it looked like that.
You need a suntan though.
Kevin Golden. Kevin Golden. Michael Lumpkin.
We are going to ask that people be quiet for the next 2 or 3 minutes. Maureen, Vern, you have to be quiet. Quiet.
Okay.
We'd like to take a few minutes.
Go ahead.
You're worse than a bunch of students. Be quiet. And as a teacher, I can get away with that. Welcome, class of 75. We are so excited to have you here. There are a few things that we'd like to pass along before we continue our evening. I've got some housekeeping things. You were given a booklet when you came in tonight, and that is important. Arlene and Julie put that together. But inside are 2 pieces of paper that you all need. The pink one is the agenda for the weekend, telling you about, well, tonight we all know about Friday and Saturday and other things that are happening in town. The white sheet of paper is a trivia contest that
What a flirt.
ask you to pass in tonight, and hopefully we'll have someone who will win a prize. The only thing that you need to make note of tonight is anybody who is bringing a child to Family Day on Saturday are to make sure that they fill in the form of what kind of Happy Meal they want and leave it at the front table. Also, we are selling t-shirts. Some of us are wearing them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, right.
We had a video 10 years ago, so we're going to put that on in a little while. I did. Around and sit at the table. We would also like you
It's nice to be back, but bigger and better next time. The guys that didn't come out, come out.
Myself, Julie, Arlene, Kevin, and
No, remember her? Yeah, I do, but I was
Look at the ID now.
the next morning.
Yes.
Yeah, 2 months ago. And
What morning?
we went down to
Stairs. Look up the stairs.
Heavy drinker. Dirty cat.
We got a happy table here, looks like.
Happy, happy, joy.
It's only 25 years.
That's all.
No big deal.
No, I didn't know. Actually, my battery is gone.
You ready for the speech, Kev?
Hey, Mike,
Yeah.
take pictures. Take pictures.
Yeah? Everybody's happy.
We don't have any audio in there.
No.
You weren't first choice. For you. You want to point
Hello.
I was second choice.
No, when I saw you there, you were first.
We're not going to do Say hi.
Hello, sweetie. Can you put my tea in the microwave?
Well, somebody's brave enough to have a beer over here, looks like. You beer.
Put on the link now to catch this one here, right?
That darky.
You know what that is?
I would keep the low light, that way you don't see all the wrinkles.
Mike, get a picture of my chickpeas that ran away.
Oh no.
He's talking about fish.
Cheers.
Not as fancy as the last time. Like, make sure you get it on the minute. It'll take a minute.
Beer there. How are you doing, man?
Smells like fish. When I smell it, it tastes like chicken.
Make them all over.
Hey, we're in for a good night tonight.
I think so, right? We're ready.
Hello! How are you?
I can't hear you. What's that again? You will later on.
I get louder as the night goes on. Hey, Phyllis.
Then I'm going to have to do something about that.
Oh, man.
You want to speak, you can have the mic.
Okay, get up there.
Anytime at all.
You can do it.
Floor
Get up
yours.
there. Not the first time. I never did have my say in high school. And tonight is the night.
Kevin's going to have his say. Well, Kevin, it's open mic night, so anytime at all, just come on up.
Just a second, I need another drink.
Don't get too rowdy now.
Food fight! They're gonna know me after tonight.
Good idea, Glenn. Glenn's going to move away. Anyway, I'm going to begin. Continue eating, have tea, have dessert. You're just not allowed to talk if other people are talking because it becomes very difficult. So, Kevin, you've been given your warning.
I spit up, not do it.
At any time, Kevin, you can push me away from the mic and it's all yours. Anytime. I'm going to go
I don't even
through...
need a mic.
Major competition tonight. I watched the video of 10 years ago, I guess a couple of nights ago, for the first time since 10 years ago, and I was kind of saying, oh my God, I can't believe I said all that and did all that. For anyone who has the video, I'm on it too much. The mic, get away. You don't have to have me. Take the people while I'm talking. I've tried really hard to get other people to come up here tonight. We have a few brave souls, but other than that, you're stuck with me for the most part. When I decided you weren't doing this, and here you are again tonight doing it. So I'm telling Julie, somebody else is doing it for the 30th. Bob Duffney says that we have to have a 30th because he's going to kill our committee, and the only way he can kill us is put us to work every 5 years to have a reunion. But anyway, we'll start with Julie Fry Power. Do not forget a thing. There's absolutely nothing that lady has forgotten from high school. The trivia questions, most of them have come from her. Most people would not even know where to begin or start. I'm a teacher and I have a difficult time remembering what I taught 2 days ago, but Julie can remember everything. Where people are, what they did, who they dated, who they walked with in the Grand March. I mean, things that I just can't comprehend. But because of all of that, we've been able to have a wealth of information brought to our committee table. The other member on the committee, Arlene White-Guzny. Arlene is the youngest female graduate for the trivia people. If you haven't passed in your trivia pages, pass them in now or you're out of luck.
That would make me still the youngest.
She's still the youngest here tonight. She graduated at the age of 15. I don't think she skipped a grade. She just went to school earlier or something.
Yeah.
Down at Kippens, they didn't know how to do it. They didn't know the rules. The rest of us had to wait till we were 5, but she was allowed to go at 4.
Get off of that.
Oh, I have something about Kippens and that you later, Kevin. No, watch it.
Do you want to talk about trouble?
For information, the youngest male graduate who's not here is Rick Slaney. He was only 16. And I don't know why, a lot of us were only 16 when we left, but I think he was a December baby, as we talked about last night. What? Oh, what happened to you? You weren't on the committee. I'm only at the committee, Max. You're younger than Rick? My apologies. You can blame that on Arlene and Julie. I have nothing to do with the trivia. Max White was younger than Rick Slaney. By how many days?
He was, he's older now.
Yeah. Well, we don't know where Rick Slaney is, so he could be older. And we don't know where Rick is. Max, seriously? Okay, I will take your word from it. Rick's not here to defend himself.
So, anybody fill that in last night? My first mistake. Arlene is almost just as good as Julie with regard to remembering things, and the two of them have been exceptional in finding addresses to get us all home tonight. The two guys on our committee who spent their whole week apologizing to us for not being able to help out enough, but I'll say it's the male thing. Being a female that's spending a lot of time caring for the care of my parents, it's a male thing. Males don't see some of the things that need to be done as females do. But we loved having them. They came as often as they could. They have other commitments in their lives. Is Jerry Gallant. And Jerry was actually the person who started the ball rolling for the 25th, and he did it 2 years ago. I was walking through the mall in September, October of '98. And he stopped and said, we got to have a meeting before Christmas and get information out to people. So Jerry has always been thinking about this and has been well on the ball to bring this together. And thank you, Jerry, for stopping me in the mall because you brought it all together tonight.
Jerry never did have too many friends.
Way to go, Kevin. Kevin Stacy is the other person. Kevin's work commitments had to be away a lot.
He is a hockey player too.
Yes, he's a better organizer. And he admitted that. He admitted that you were a better hockey player than him around our table. I'll give Jerry credit for that, Kevin.
I'm trying to toughen him up too.
Kevin is another person who did his best to track down names, come to committee meetings. Last night he was exceptional. Anytime I moved, he wanted to know what he could help me with. I think he feels really guilty he didn't make the last 2 meetings. He even took my camera and used up the rest of the film to take pictures, and those pictures are developed and will be upstairs before the night is out for you to see. So there are committee members, plus myself, and you don't need to, you know enough about me, I talk too much. I guess now we'd like to get on a serious note and take a few minutes to have a moment of silence for 5 deceased classmates. I actually didn't hear about the 5th one until last night. And it's not something you want to say. If I miss somebody, please let me know. We don't want somebody else to be deceased. But we don't have ways of finding out some of this information because we have about 8 or 10 graduates that we have not been able to find for the reunion, and I'll talk about them later. So we'd like to take a moment of silence to remember in our prayers Charles Ivan Benoit, Lee Tobin, Emma Martin, Derek Spencer, and I think most people have known about the past 3. Derek just passed away this spring in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan with cancer. And I found out last night that Frank Sonny Tompkins is also deceased. So we're going to take a moment of silence for them. Before we have some messages from some teachers and students that couldn't make it tonight, I'm going to talk about a few more graduates. I think there's only one person tonight that wasn't here last night, and I'm going to take a few minutes to give her a little bit of praise. Debbie Downey arrived at 7:05 tonight, dressed and came on. I'd like everybody to know that as of 2 o'clock this afternoon, Debbie has got her master's in literary studies. For those people who don't know what that actually means in terms of university years, that is 7 full years of university. And she's been doing it over the past number of summers and throughout her teaching career the past couple of years, and she's teaching in Gander. I also know that with the exception of one assignment that she hasn't got back, she's done her master's with all solid A's. Congratulations, Debbie. I get to pick on everybody tonight. So if you want to talk, you can come up and pick on somebody else.
One extra A.
Going through some of the other people that have made it, I guess I'm doing mostly everybody as individuals with the exception of a couple of people. I'm going down to Bernie and Barry Follow. Some people put them down as the 2 people who've changed the most. I guess I'm doing them together because for all their life they've been together. They are one of the answers of the high school sweethearts that you had on your trivia contest, Bernie and Barry. I don't believe, I think I'm correct, they weren't able to make it to our 15. When they came in last night, it was really interesting that we got there so early because we were sitting back and every time someone came to the door, everybody started poking, who's that, who's that, who's that? I didn't put you down, Barry, as the person who changed the most once I kind of figured out it was you, but a lot of other people really, really felt you did. And the same with you, Bern, because the hair is just so short. I don't know where they are, so I can't look at them. Terrible. Barry's in the back. Oh yeah, Barry missed the stage. Typical.
Barry's in the locker.
Always in the locker. Which was a question on the trivia. Somebody went up to him last night, kind of patted his belly and said, "Do you think you could get in the locker now?" But he could in high school, big time.
Have to be like McDonald's, you'd have to exercise it.
So welcome home.
Next locker to put him in.
Welcome home, Bernie and Barry. Another person that I'm going to do, she's not the person who traveled the furthest, even though most people think that Maureen has traveled the furthest from Scotland, where she's been living for 7-8 years. I happened to be in St. John's the weekend and came into the airport. I find this really funny because I didn't recognize her right away on Sunday night. She was sitting, a blonde, kind of tall, short on, legs crossed, reading this book in security at the airport. And I just walked on by and sat down. And there was a former student of mine there, so I started chatting with this student, and somehow, I don't know, we got on the reunion. And of course, she was a graduate of St. Stephen's, so she was saying to me, "Oh, you went to St. Stephen's. Who taught you?" I said, "Oh, a lot of the same people who taught you." And I named them all off, and we were talking about the reunion, and Maureen was listening to all of it. Her ears were burning. So I got up and went to the bathroom, and when I came back, I sat in front of her, still didn't know it was her. And somebody started talking about, was this plane going to be a plane that we could stand up in, or do we, kind of have to bend our head to get on? And she laughed, and I knew it was her. Haven't seen her 25 years, but she laughed. And then she said my name, and of course we sat together on the flight and got updated on all kinds of things. If you're in Scotland, she's going to leave her address upstairs later. She would love to have anybody drop in. As long as you don't, she doesn't have to feed you. You can drop in, use it as kind of a place to drop your bags, travel for a few days, come back, say hi. She's already invited me, so I'm inviting everybody. Welcome home, Maureen. Now I'd like to call upon Julie. Julie is going to bring some messages from some teachers who couldn't make it tonight and have responded. Kevin, are you saying something again? I'll ignore him.
It's only about Maureen.
It's only about Maureen. Maureen, you're going to have to defend yourself later. Kevin's talking about you over here. Again.
No, I just said that, I don't know why you moved so far. There were farther places.
Actually, we have 4 teachers who, I don't know,
Go right in. We can hear it. Maybe I
we have 4 teachers who replied back and sent a nice little note to us. One of them is Mr. Mike Calcott. He was the earth science teacher, and he wrote, "We'll be out of the province at the time. Best wishes for your reunion. The 4 years I spent at St. Stephen's, 1973 to 77, were some of the best in my teaching career. I remember very well many of the great students. I am now at Holy Heart in St. John's, with only 2 years left to go to retirement. Best of luck, Mike Calcott." The next one is from Mr. Joe Bonby and his wife Kathy. Actually, they're in the States. Joe has his high school reunion. So we are not on the island at this time. Best wishes for a great 25th class reunion. Wishing you all the success in your reunion weekend. Joe and Kathy. The next one is from Mr. Wes Campbell. And I'm really sorry that I cannot make the reunion. If there was a reunion that I would have liked to attend, it would have been this one. I am heavily involved in Harriman Field Day. As a matter of fact, I am the chairman. The reunion date of July 14th comes right in the middle of this event. And Friday night, we have a function scheduled for the Rotary Club. If there is any way I can get there for some time, I will. My regrets, Les Campbell. We have another one. Actually, our former Vice Principal, George Fury, as you may know, is now a senator, and sent a very nice leather-bound note from the Senate.
Tax dollars at work.
Okay. It says, Dear Class of 75, is it really 25 years since the halls of St. Stephen's resonated with your voices, with your laughter and expectations, with your joys and your dreams, and mostly with your hopes for the future? You always were a wonderful group of students and are no doubt now wonderful young men and women. I would love to join you for your celebrations on July 14th. Unfortunately, a previous engagement takes me out of the province. Best wishes on your reunion. May God bless you in all your endeavors, present and future. Senator George J. Fury, QC. And I have one here from Mike Power. Actually, Arlene said, do you want to read Mike's out? So I said, okay. Mike sent an email. And it says, Dear Julie, received your phone messages. I've after sent them, I don't know how many, over 2 years, saying you can't deliver any babies on this weekend. You have to be home for your reunion. Unfortunately, he can't be here. But said, received your phone message. Looks like I won't be coming home until the end of July due to work commitments. Hope you have a good time at the reunion. Say hi to everyone for me. Tell the class that I send greetings from Northern Ontario. Actually, he's in Kapuskasing. If anybody goes there, drop by and see him. Things are going pretty well here, and I'm looking forward to coming home for a visit. He'll be here in 2 weeks. Maybe I'll get a chance to see some of the old high school crowd then. Anyway, take care and extend my best wishes to all classmates and their families. Sincerely, Mike. And that's it.
What about Fred?
Shaping, and I have to sit down.
Years ago.
Okay. I have one here from Candace Pelly. She says, hi classmates. Hi, I cannot believe it's approaching 25 years since we graduated. Time really does fly. Regretfully, I will not be able to attend this year's celebration. I have an extensive trip planned since last year that will take me to India, Hong Kong, Thailand, Singapore, Philippines, Korea, and Malaysia. We will conclude our trip that will encompass over 3 months with 1 month in Bali, Indonesia. I wish you all the best in your efforts pertaining to the reunion, and I certainly hope that I can make it to our next one. I am sure that a good time will be had by all. Unfortunately, she had some family circumstances. Things have changed and she had to cancel her trip. But she still can't be with us. Hi everybody. It's Wednesday, July 12th, and I'm calling to inform all of you that I just cannot make it to our big reunion. I have recently changed jobs and Bell Canada will not give me the time off to attend. I am sure you will have a great time, and I look forward to seeing my former classmates when I get to town again.
She couldn't wait to get here. Bonnie is also a couple of answers in the trivia contest. She is an answer for, I think, the cheerleading, the lead cheerleading. And she's also a grandmother. She has a 5-week-old 5-week-old grandchild that she says is the most gorgeous girl she's ever saw in the world. But then all grandparents say that, don't they?
Oh yeah, get out of here. Go away.
Don't they, Bonnie?
Uh-huh.
That's right. Now, I'd like to go over my list of people we're unable to find. If anybody knows the whereabouts of these people, would they let somebody on the committee know or sign it in a book upstairs? As you come in through the front door, we have a red book that was around for our 15th that has messages from people and addresses, and we did use some of them even though people do move in 10 years. So it's up by the door. We're asking for email addresses. We will compile then a page of email addresses and send it out to everybody afterwards. And if you know the whereabouts of any of these people, you can give us that information and we'll follow it up. Dave Basso, I did try to find out where Dave was. You know where Dave is?
I found him.
Why aren't you on our committee?
What's email?
Oh. Friends don't know about email, Kevin. I take that one. Thank you. I don't have an email address either, Kevin, so. Listen, he raised his hand. Let's give him a round of applause. He's learning. We'll make a student out of you before the night's out.
Good evening, and thanks for the invitation. First, I'd like you to go back 25 years. That would keep Kevin very quiet. Now, 25 years ago, Kevin wouldn't speak. He was very quiet. But if we go back 25 years, we bring back Mike Corner. And we don't gain anything. I notice you have the right name tag on, Mike Tarzan. Some of you I see around town, pretty well every morning I see Rick and Lydie at the Coffee Bean. See other people around town. When I walked in this evening, Barry Fowler was up front. I don't think I knew him. I looked at his tag and said Kenny Rogers. I asked him, did he sing? And he said, no. I couldn't remember teaching to Kenny Rogers. He didn't look like the little Barry Fowler I thought of.
That would be pretty funny to say, what are you doing in that locker, Kenny Rogers?
Then this tall lady came forward, and it was Maureen, and she's still tall. She said, brought up something about the basketball, and she said, I can remember you taking me for the basketball team because I was tall. And she always put that up. You must have picked me because I was tall, which wasn't the case. Then I saw Deanna. I should remember her. She's in the family somewhere. I think her grandmother and my dad are brother and sister. Well, they are. No, thank you. So I don't know where that makes us cousins, I guess, or somewhere.
Back then I could have used marks.
Anyways, I stuck out with St. Stephen's, and as did Tom. When St. Stephen's closed 2 years ago, we left. Actually, we retired the same year that St. Stephen's closed down, and you people were the fourth of 28 classes that I saw graduate from St. Stephen's. Since then, my wife retired this year. She had 2 years in the new system, and we're both looking forward to our retirement, and I wish you well on the weekend. Thanks.
And at first his flight was supposed to get in at 11, and she said, no, that's too late. But the flight got moved up to 10 to 10, and I called her at 9:45 and said, is Bob there yet? No. I said, do I need to go to the airport to get him? No, he's going to get a cab, but he is going in, Debbie. So I think I occasionally drive his mother to cards with my mother, so if she hadn't kept you home, Bob, she would have had me to deal with. Bob has been home several times in the past year, and has given some input into the reunion. So we thank you, Bob, for all of that. And he's home with that as well. Oh, you picked a good spot to sit. Sitting by two women who don't have spouses here tonight either. Good spot, Bob.
I only got a little defense left.
Your mother keeps that, so you're going to have none. So, Mr. Tom Bartlett, we'll pass it over to you.
You'll be kept after this class. You'll be here till 3 o'clock. Attention for you.
When Debbie asked me last night to say a few words today, she said, you haven't got to write anything. So I just kind of assumed she was going to write it for me.
That's what you taught me to. Come on.
This is a different group for me. This is like much different than the last 20, 22, 23 groups. This group is really different. My second year in Stephenville, I'm still single.
But you're single, man.
Oh yeah. And really special in that a lot of the people here in this room, like my kids went to school with your kids, so we became friends. We worked on projects together. Jerry Gillette and I, we've done a lot of things together with soccer over the years. And most of my memories of those early years in Stephenville are tied in with soccer. Last night at the curling club, Claude White walked up to me and said, "You don't remember me, do you?" I said, "Yes, Claude, I remember you very well. Nice goal."
Me too.
For those of you who don't remember, those of you who missed that game, overtime against Integrated, 5th game, Claude scored. Only it wasn't for us.
Him and Steve Smith.
It was a good shot, though.
And then he never had a chance at it.
No,
never had a chance.
Top corner.
It was really great to see all you people back home, the people who come from away. Bob Duffney, a couple of years ago, Bob showed up at St. Stephen's Field. There was a soccer tournament going on over by the field, and I looked down and said, I couldn't place him because I just wouldn't, I didn't see him in that context at all. He wasn't on the field, he was behind the fence. I would always remember Bob on the field, Bob and Jerry Gallant. Jerry, I always teased Jerry. Jerry was a left winger, and he was, I think, the slowest left winger I've ever seen in my life. That was a tribute to the fact what a good player he was, because he could play left wing being that slow. And of course, I think Bob helped him out quite a bit along the way.
Jerry.
It's been great seeing all you people. Some of you I remember, a lot of the names I remember, a lot of the faces I don't. When I look at the names, I say, okay, I remember that fella, but gee, you know, that guy I don't remember at all, you know. And some of the girls came along, Phyllis here, McCann, I mean, she's McCann, well, there's been a lot of sisters along the way. It was really great to see you. I hope you have a really good time. I know you're going to have a really good time, but if Kevin has anything to do with it. So have a good time, and we'll be with you as long as we can. Rick and I are kind of old pensioners, and we'll try to keep up with you as long as we can. Thank you very much.
Anything to fly. He's home every other week. And every time he's home, he's calling somebody to touch base to see what's happening and what can he do and who's coming and who's not coming. So I told him, you know, with all of those phone calls and bugging us, he has to say a few words. So Mike, you're up next.
I told you you could sing. You were not
Mike, you don't need that.
I'm caught in a trap.
Play your remote.
Well, it's a wonderful night. No, I did miss the 15. I guess the letter got lost in the mail. No, my father recently, well, he retired quite a few years ago, but he was always mixed up in lobsters, so when anybody called the house, it was the answer machine. I don't think he knows how to get the messages out of it yet. So, I think that's what happened. But I'd like for everyone to put their hands together and thanks for all the teachers who had to put up with us all those years. Put your hands together.
Fellas like you. White kind of guys like us, huh? Here to learn.
You gotta wait your turn. But before working with Air Canada, I did teach a little bit off and on and couldn't get full-time, but quickly as you begin to teach, you realize that I think all teachers go straight to heaven after 20 years of teaching. Pretty sure Maureen can vouch for that. But I guess a lot of people have a lot of memories about school growing up. It's funny today when I visit different people in Stephenville, I see kids waking up in the morning, getting breakfast in bed, being driven to school, picked up at lunchtime, brought home for lunch, dropped back in the car to school, and then picked up. And I could just remember, you know, growing up in snowstorms, like, get to school. But wait, it says it on the radio. I don't care. Get to school. So I think it was grade 3. I had Mark Bush's mother, if I'm not mistaken. Where's Mark tonight?
He's coming in a lot.
He's not. He's late again, is he?
Snowstorm.
Snowstorm. But it was grade 3, and as you can remember, We had several sisters who taught us school principals and various sisters we all remember quite well. And it was a blizzard. You couldn't see your hand in front of you, and you're waiting for it to hear that part that said, all the Roman Catholics. How does that go? All the Roman Catholic schools in the Steamboat-Port area. Right on! Get to school. Okay, so I remember very vividly coming along the fence. As you remember, Gallants have these steel beams. They've been there quite a long time. And it was quite a storm where you could hardly breathe. It was so bad. But anyway, I remember feeling the steel rails, and I said, well, I'm getting close to Gallants, you know? I felt my way all the way up, all these rails till okay, the red house is on the left, then there's the store, and then there's the crosswalk, and then there's the school. So I made it to the door, and I tried to open this big door. And I was too young, I guess, I didn't have enough strength. I couldn't open this door. This big sister pushes the door open, and I come in, and it's like, and it's, I think it was, I'm not sure it was Sister Rosalie or who it was. It might have been Sister Faustina, you guys remember. She had the, you know, the prayer beads thing, full habit. And she said, what are you doing here?
I want to learn.
I said, my dad told me to go to school. So I'm figuring, well, I don't want to go back all the way back. I almost died getting here. So she said, well, as long as you're here, get in the classroom, man. First time I tell this story. But anyway, that year, Mark Bourgeois' mother presented the student with the perfect attendance, and guess who was? I can't remember what happened. I can't remember what happened to that book because I just never did like reading. I went to the university for 5 years and I read whatever I had to read, and that was it, and I got out of there. But I just like the books with the pictures on it, you know?
Always on big trips.
Yeah. But small little items in your mind that I'm sure you all remember. We'll exchange memories again here tonight. But I do remember I get little flashbacks now. But it was grade 2.
For that?
Yes, sir. And you're one of them, Max. And it was grade 2, and it was the first day, and everyone went into their classroom, and then I wanted to get a drink of water, and I went up to the water fountain, and I lifted up my head, and I said, where do I go now? What door did I come out of? Door number 1, door number 2? And I thought, what am I going to do now? So I walked around for about 5 minutes, and you're really going to laugh at this one. And all of a sudden, the door opened, and this kid stuck his head out. And his head was so big, I knew that was my class. It was David H. White, clown. That's how I got back to my class. So forgive me, Dave. Dave can get even on the 30th with me, so. But, no, I, again, just like to say, I appreciate all the people who came so far. Is Maureen officially is there somebody who?
Your room, my answer. Oh, sorry. Wendy, what do you think?
Came from where?
British Columbia.
British Columbia? Is that farther than Scotland?
Oh, yeah. Only 5 hours on plane for me.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a draw. We'll call it a draw. But to come so far, and as you say, you talk to a lot of people in the reunions. For some reason, some of the people who live locally don't show up, but it's the same. Don't feel bad about it, but it's the same for all reunions, and we'll keep having more reunions, and hopefully more people will show up. But I'd just like to thank everybody for coming, and thank the teachers once again, and hope everyone has a good time tonight.
Is it too late? I'm gonna come. I asked him then. I said, well, what I said was, Kevin, I think you and Bob will do something this time. But Bob is a wimp. His mother won't let him talk or dance. So you're on your own. So without any further ado, Kevin, would you like to come up to the mic?
never did know who to hang around with.
Oh my God!
It's the FBI class. You open the fire?
Not that tall.
Oh, and that's it.
Yep. Okay, I'd like to say hello to everyone here tonight. I'm going to be like Kevin Alexander, short and sweet.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you.
What I've done is I went through the yearbook today. I actually got a loan of Maureen's yearbook, and I kind of went through it and jot down some notes and some ideas. And my sister has this large computer scanner, so I was able to blow up some of the images.
Oh my God!
And, so basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to do this kind of as a tribute. I've picked a couple of names at random, and I'm going to kind of tell a little story with each one, and I got a little visual graphic, visual aid, and that I'm going to show, okay? So the first little, and what I'd like for you to do at the end when I say it, I want you all to you can take a drink of wine or beer or whatever, and say, the class of 75. Okay? I think it was 75 when we graduated. So. Okay, so my first picture.
Did someone buy me a drink? I got
Tell your class. There you go, Cass.
Thank you very much.
Last night they were handing out the class of 75 trivia sheet, as Debbie was talking about, and basically there was a couple of things that people didn't know, like about secret romances. There was one secret romance nobody wanted to speak about, and I was saying it all last night, but nobody wanted to talk about it. And basically it was a romance that was doomed from the start, and it was between Mike Power and Maureen Byrne. And I actually have a picture 25 years ago of what happened. That's an actual photograph. And you notice the Scottish kilt I put there as well.
I did wax my legs. This is high school. Oh, sorry.
What you have to say is, raise the glass and say, the class of 75.
Well, that's what Mike meant about stubble.
That's where he got his whisker burned.
This one is very short. Again, remember, class of 75 when I'm finished. Now living at the home for retired cheerleaders. Bonnie Bennett. The class of 75.
Small picture.
Okay. This one. This one's a little more personal, I think. But
Not naked picture.
no. Can you see that back on? After high school, Jerry Gallant. He kind of roamed around for a while. We all know he was not too sure of what he was going to do with his career, and he was always playing a bit of soccer. What Bob knows, and what I know, and what Brian Turpin knows, who's not here tonight, that Jerry did a little bit of male stripping. And he worked actually one night at the Breezeway, and they booed him. But I do have photographs from that. Class of 75.
See, you should have stuck with school. You should have went to university like the rest of us.
Even back 25 years ago, friends of Lydie Power knew that she had a talent with her hands and with her hair. And so I found this actual archival photograph. And she was working on the hair 25 years ago of actually someone here tonight who played on the hockey team. He volunteered his head. And Kevin Alexander, star hockey player.
I was meaning that spot she cut out.
Well, what it was she used to put the helmet on his head and cut around it, and he still got the marks from on the head.
What a bitch! Where are you two?
Actually, there's a little story with that. I was talking to Kevin last night. Myself and Kevin and Jerry played on the same line in grade 10. And Kevin was the centerman, and he dropped the gloves. He was a pretty tough player. Jerry was a pretty good winger, and I was always trying to catch up with the play. And we were called the play line because Kevin was the playmaker. I was trying to catch up with the play, and Jerry was always playing with himself. Classes 75.
Next round's on me.
Okay.
See, Jerry, I told you.
This is something for another dear friend of mine. Speaking of Margaret Power, I think, Margaret, your new blonde hair, it looks really good. I know you're going to say, oh, please, God, no, please. But she came up to me last night, and to be honest with you, I didn't think about Margaret at the time. She said, Kevin, if you say anything, don't say anything about me. That was not a good thing to say. So I thought, anyway, I just want to compliment you on your hairstyle. And before she had it done, actually, Lydie comes back in the picture again because she called her up and asked her, she was in an experimental mood, and she wanted to try something different. So between the two of them, they kind of came up with this thing. But you notice the combs, they were actually Debbie Downey's and Janet O'Quinn's dunce caps. They fit perfect.
Class of 75.
Class of 75. Now, I was drawing all of these this afternoon. I didn't have them done until this afternoon, so you'll notice that I was thinking, I'm at this for a while, so I said, I'm going to throw 3 people into this one. And as I was going down through the yearbook, and I noticed like the newspaper club, and the social studies club, and the science club. There's all these clubs. One club that did not get into the photograph, and into the book, and there were only 3 members. They were all male. They were very laid back, calm males, and they were only members of this club. And it was actually, they were all willing to sleep around. And the name of the club was the St. Stephen's 1975 Spartan Snoring Club. Mike Tompkins, Bob Duffney, and Mike Cormier. And one summer, they didn't get much work. They were hoping, to get a bit of work. The only one summer that they got work was Jerry Glenn had them sleep over all summer. Class of 75. All right, we're down to the last now, thank God. And this one is a little more, again, more serious and a little more of a tribute. He's not here tonight, but I think his brother is. Anyway, to the hairiest, hippest grad of 1975, And I have to thank him personally for a lot of beer at the Brown Derby and liquor store and stuff like that. Curtis White. The class of 75. That's it. I hope everybody have a good time. Thank you very much.
Sure, Cousin Colin. Way to shit on Jerry Glenn.
You got that?